sometimes computers they can be a fickle beast, but we are back. So thank you for your patience and thank you for sticking around. Sorry about the just a minor delay there, but we're back. We're still under a minute here, and those just a quick reminder, those predictions are closing, but same page coming into this one. We're seeing a bit more of a safe start here, bit of a three. I wouldn't call it 5-point defense, but more of a 3-point defense across this top side.
4.5. We'll cut it even. But definitely for sure, just backtracking a little bit as the teams are getting underway. So Enigmas are really just showing and really performing and saying, hey.
We actually have a little bit of a trading going back here. Graham getting caught out in the jungle, looking for those early wards once again, and actually is going to get punished for it this time. First blood going over to ICL. Wow.
An absolute pickup. Nice cheesy start to it. The Shen coming in, like we said, what we were talking about, the Shen picking up a nice and early kill onto the Syndra there, making sure she had a blower TP on the early start, which is a very, very nice start, making her start the Scatter the Weak, which is a very, very weak ability early on. I think this is a great start to the game necessarily for VX fans.
This is definitely a more ideal situation than what we've watched in the past two games. So previously, that Vision game has been dominated by EGM, and they've done that by getting early wards into the enemy's jungle. However, it looks like VX picking up on what has happened in those two games and do catch out Graham trying to go for those early wards over into the red buff.
Definitely, and it was a very, very nice call coming from Happy or whoever called it onto the VX team to have him situated to a point where he's punishing the Syndra for trying to find the Trundle so early on.
Yeah, but now, we're watching this game kind of unfold. Things are kind of toned, as I say things are toned down. Aqua Anthony already underneath the tower, but trading in, and junglers almost run into each other here at EGM's blue buff, but actually spotted out, I believe, for some reason. Somehow there was vision popped on out, and now Daily Peach is actually going to find out that the killer comes up, but double buffs from TS Pizza is going to be doing a bunch of damage. Look at the Q on over the wall. Daily Peach manages to get on out alive and is going to have to back. So now we see a bit of a flip in this jungle as it is Pizza going for the scuttle, and will actually have himself quite a nice start here in our third game of the night.
What a complete turnaround coming from the first two games. They're playing very comfortably, I think, at the moment, where they're even more comfortable to the point where they're invading Peach, looking for those cheeky true damage shots coming into the Dr. Moon from the Camille there, and just really putting the pressure on for that double scuttle.
Take a look at Braum. He actually might potentially get caught out. The Q will come down along with a pillar, but Happy Game is down here. And now TS Pizza looking to double scuttle here, but that's going to be actually the dash in from Happy Game, looking for some taunt, but here comes Daily Peach. Once again, members of VX are getting quite low, and that kill on Aqua Anthony going on over to Daily Peach once more. So, we were just talking about how good VX was starting. They had that early game lead, but now that gold tied up across the board here, and in the hands of Daily Peach, well, we've seen what happens.
It's an unfortunate game around. I thought it was a nice and clean turnaround going into VX's favor, but that was a nice and lovely collapse coming from Enigma, securing that Shen's death and swinging the Gold League back into a much more manageable state. Nonetheless, it's still only 1k gold, or k gold if that was a kill coming up with the VG, but it's still something that we haven't seen in any of the previous games.
Gotta keep an eye out mid as both the Trundle and the Shen are on either side of this river. Trundle is spotted out. Graham is going to start backing back, but the pillar comes out. The flash forces Scatter Weak comes out. Miasma is down on the ground though, but look at Pizza getting quite low. However, it's Happy Game finding the kill. Double TP is actually going to be coming through as Black Express is in helping escort his jungler on out. One kill on over to VX, and it's currently 2-1 for them.
Like I've been saying, and even the analysts, or even you, are saying that we need to see Happy on those roaming supports. Put Scarlet on that nice and relaxing Ezreal, making sure he's just farming up and enjoying life. Put that Shen into positions where he could get supported with the Trundle and get those nice and available mid lane ganks, giving those kills off to the mid laner, giving those assists off to the jungler, making sure there is a winnable state for each of their major lanes.
And you know what? It's nice to see that there is still some life in VX. You know, after facing a couple of very tough games, that can do a lot to the morale of a team. So stepping up and showing that they are not out of this, that they still have some power and can flex a little bit of muscle here is really nice to be seeing from VX. So we're seeing this a little bit more of a coordination here as again moving around the map more as a cohesive unit in this game. As Pizza is back down bot, but Peach not too far away, and they're actually just out of each other's vision from the fog of war. So a couple more steps around the corner, they will get spotted potentially, but are just going to opt to back off, play it a little safe, and just get control of this Dragon Pit by picking up yet another scuttle.
Now, just coming over to the facts at this point, it looks like it's going to be a given, or just giving the Cloud Drake over to VX here. Do you just possibly believe there could have been a fight or even a contest to the Cloud Drake, or do you think it wasn't worth it and Enigma is choosing the right path?
I think it's the right call right now. You know, it is just an early Cloud Drake, so it's in terms of those early, just minuscule numbers of what I've talked about with the on the caster desk before. You know, when we see early oceans or early infernals, right? Those little slivers, those little tiny, minute damage numbers or healing numbers can make such a difference when we see players getting super duper low. But for this, a Cloud Drake, I don't think is a big concern to EGM. They know their style right now for the team. They know what they're how they kind of have to execute this comp, and that is get Mundo to a point in the game where he is just one big beefy boy and cannot be stopped. And of course, get Karibo to a point where they have those. I believe it's the 60 soul spike, where Senna just becomes an absolute monster. So why risk it? Why put yourself at a disadvantage when you can just sit back, play safe, go even, and get to a point in the game that suits your win comp?
Look at this fight. It's going to be looking like there's going to be a fight in the top side right now.
Yeah, we're going to see Bless Express going on with Anthony, but look who's right there. Daily Peach just lurking around the corner. But Aqua Anthony using that flash gets on out, and thankfully Daily Peach did not press R, or else he might have taken a bit of an express path to not a place.
I mean, that's what we call a fast back here, but that was a really, really well played
the true from bot lane. I don't know if it's going to be able to really
come in the bot lane.
Interesting, as actually we are going to have a fight down there. Karibo getting quite low. Senna popping the Q to heal up herself and her support, as bot lane kind of disengaging from that one, but some great trade coming out of VX. And now we see a little bit more of vision trading up in the mid around the jungle and the blue buff of EGM. But down the bottom, beautiful taunt coming through from Happy Game. That's going to be Scarlet jumping on in, but the Braum shield, can it block enough? That Braum passive will lock down Happy Game, and now Scarlet 1 is just fishing for some kills. Almost comes close to finding Karibo, but thankfully, Bardo support is there with a big old Braum shield.
That was a very, very tanky Braum shield there, just absorbing all that damage to make sure that the Senna has a great back, and she just picks up Mana Mute as her first item. An absolute insane back, and it looks like potentially the Ezreal's going to do the same.
Yeah, but not terrible. You know, we're seeing some stacks coming through, and this is kind of another situation as Bless Express taking some more trading. So little low there, but you know the goal of this Mundo, play it safe, get scaled up. However, you know we're seeing some scaling as the objective over on VX as well too. The double tiers, one from Cass and one from Ezreal. So in terms of scaling, Paige, what are we looking at when we move into this mid to late game?
Now we're looking at here. It's going to be Ezreal versus Senna. Even though Senna has infinite scaling necessarily for the mid to early and late game, I think Ezreal has the major advantage. He has the ability to play that nice and passive game where he can just sit back and poke in, but he also has that more of an aggressive side where he can eat in, produce a lot of damage. But it looks like he's going to get ulti.
Taking a look down here. Yeah, that's going to be the Vi going in right away, getting those Braum passives down, and it will be Daily Peach that secures that one. Just a 3-man clobbering squad as Graham is actually going to be rotating up as well here. So Pizza needs to play this really safe, but gets hit by the Scout of the Week. Here comes Bardo Support jumping on to Graham, looking to get that Braum passive to lock down this Trundle, but not quite enough. Just one short. However, that Ezreal jumped on so damn fast, and this just means more plates for this EGM bot lane, putting them ahead just a little bit. We see the gold just slightly in favor of EGM at this point in time.
And just going... And just looking at just how this game is just playing here, that...
You see Harold coming down the mid. Some good plates going on over to VX. So that gold is now tied up just perfectly as Graham... Oh, look at the pillar actually stopping Graham from coming back. Well, that's a little rude, but you know what? Kind of smart from Pizza to predict where the Cinder was going to be.
Definitely, for sure. And it's... I just looking at this game, and just one more time to backtrack before another fight breaks out for this dragon fight. Necessarily, just looking at the scaling here, I actually am going to give it over to just VX here. Even though Dr. Moon is going to be an absolute terror, I think Camille has a great grasp, just a nice stranglehold over to the Dr. Mundo. Just because of our kits naturally works with a max amount of true damage, with the Triforce box really adding that pack-a-punch. The Cassiopeia is going to have a great time against the Vi if he tries to get anywhere close to their backline, as long as she's playing much more of that mid-range role. And that Ezreal is going to play pretty safe necessarily. He has a free flash onto his kit. He's going to have a good time nonetheless, but it looks like VX is going to be setting up to this Ocean Dragon.
Yep, this will be the second Drake of the game for VX. It will be their second, and this is nice seeing a lot more focus onto these objectives, these dragons, this game from VX. But I was just, hold on, I got to reel back. Are you telling me you're switching your prediction mid-game? Wait a minute.
Sir. I still think, even though I am much more of a fan of just this draft coming from VX here, because it's a lot more high feed, it's a lot more gameplay, it's a lot more precision, I still think there is a clean chance that a game is going to have a wonderful time coming in, especially Peachy's 2-0. He's building his lethality items now. He's going to start getting that real meaty excessive force in Assault and Battery, and just really start popping people.
Yep. And that gold still very, very close between both of these teams. However, you take a look at where that gold is. You can look at the Vi and see that the jungler for EGM is up, but back in the mid lane, that CS lead is definitely contributing to this Cassiopeia's gold lead, and things are kind of balanced in terms of where this gold is across both these teams. However, this is still relatively early on in this. We're encroaching that mid game kind of area where we're going to see more roams, more team fighting. As right now, Bless Express taking quite a bit of damage from Aqua Anthony on that Camille. So some really great trades coming out of this top laner, and that's who we were talking about before in the draft, about Aqua Anthony being kind of a cornerstone to this VX squad, and just being super consistent and very stable in what's going on in this top lane. But we're looking for something a little bit more crazy as we see the dive coming through. The Camille comes down. Senna ulti is there as well too, as the Stand United comes up as well from Happy Games. So well executed by VX, and a beautiful little tower dive. Also, the other thing we're talking about was, making these ganks, pulling them off, pulling that trigger, but actually successfully completing a gank, and they do just so right there in the top lane.
completely agree. That was a very well executed dive, but unfortunately, Isao, man, I'm gonna butcher that too. He got caught out, unfortunately, um, into Daily Peach's jungle there, getting one popped and getting the kill transferred over to the Vi, which is making her a little bit more and more scary. But you also have to manage as well that this Senna has been free farming now 30 CS up, really trying to abuse this Ezreal healer, especially for the Shen roaming so much. It's good to see that they are pressuring this Ezreal and punishing them for a 1v2 lane.
And now let's just take a peek at what we might be seeing in the next few minutes. You know, some of these builds are starting to come together. The tier items are stacking almost 600 for Cassiopeia, actually just crossing 600, and just about to cross 650 for Ezreal. So they are going to start hurting a little bit more than normal coming soon. But the tier also being stacked by Senna, a little bit behind, just at around 450. But what I do like, the respect from Aqua Anthony, we did see an Executioners in the build as the first item. So respecting the amount of healing that can come out of this Mundo, but we'll have to see which of these teams scale harder into this mid to late game, and we'll see if VX keeps putting a focus on these dragons, already 2 up, and the fact that there's an Infernal Soul on the map this game is going to mean a lot if VX is able to pick that one up.
And not even just talking about the teams in general, because you know Infernal's going to be scary on both teams. That Ezreal's going to be popping people, that Camille's going to be popping people. But also on the other side, that Vi is going to have a wonderful time with that Infernal. The Senna, the Dr. Mundo, the Syndra is going to have a wonderful time with that Infernal. So I really think this next dragon is going to be the first major fight in the game. I genuinely think it has to be.
Yeah, and what I like to see again is Pizza roaming up towards the top lane does have that Herald, but it was the call out from Aqua Anthony, and oh no, we missed the fight in the bot lane. I at least missed the fight in the bot lane. Damn it. Damn my directed camera. Oh, it's betrayed me yet again, and I'm not even the one streaming, but Daily Peach down there to find a kill, and my goodness, we are going to see the Herald go on up top as VX looking. It's going to be, just literally close for VX to pick up that first turret, but Lost Express is being jumped on. The Camille ulti is there and locks down the Mundo. That's going to be the kill. TP being used by Graham to get up to this top lane, but just not there in time. And even though this mid tower is quite low, no wave. Oh no. Oh no. Don't face check, because now you're going to get punched for it. The up. Cassiopeia will use her Petrifying Gaze, but it's just not enough time. Daily Peach still showing us who this big bad jungler really is.
Even though that was a great kill onto the bot lane, it slowed the roll to a point where they just they give over this first Infernal. Sure, one Infernal's not going to be crazy, but 2, 3 Infernals down the road.
Double TP coming through, and I don't. Yeah. Yikes. There's not much to say about that. Everyone can kind of
the other way
extrapolate what you want from that, but you burn the TP. You don't have any teammates around. Two-Shot Barrage is going to be making its way mid, but mid outer tower going down for EGM. So, again, adding some more gold to their team's pockets, and now we're seeing VX start to have to back off a few of these fights.
And also the Duskblade coming up onto the Senna here is actually a little bit of scary thought. It's going to pack a little bit more of a punch than she normally was. Even though her Manamune is not finished, she is very close to finishing it within a few minutes or so, and she's really going to start to hurt the enemy team. Now, going over to the top lane.
Oh, look at this. It's actually going to be the Stand United coming from Happy Game as Aqua Anthony pops the Camille ult, and they will just be able to shred down Bless Express. My goodness. Just hopping on this Mundo immediately, and that shows you the power that healing reduction can have in your kit. But I will bring attention back on over to the side of EGM for a second here. As you wanted a lethality jungler? Well, you got one this game here, same page.
I appreciate it. Much appreciated. Though, to be fair, a little predictable, but I'm still excited to see what she can do. Especially who already seen Peachy one pop the Cassiopeia into the
Oh,
middle.
scatter the weak onto Ezra. We're going to have a fight breaking out potentially in this mid lane as Braum ult will come through. Graham finds the kill onto Scarlet One as now Pizza is going to be forced to flash away. Gets hit by that Senna, but able to at least get on out of that.
Anybody calling for the outplay button?
Yeah. It's a little bit of a strong ultimate, if you ask me. That Unleash power can do quite a bit. Each Dark Sphere, I'm just looking at this, 172 damage. It's a lot when you're an ADC. So I want to take a peek at Ezreal's. I just want to see how much overall health Ezreal has. It's actually 1 sec. I'm hiding all my stuff because I haven't set this up quite nicely as I usually do. But 1,383 health on the Ezreal. Got to do a bunch of damage. Another fight is breaking out. ICL is able to pop that Miaz. Safe, nice little, well, not a nice one, but True Shot Barrage is popped out. Is up top. Less Express now dealing with the Camille ult once again. TS Pizza up there to help out Aqua Anthony. And this is where we see the focus going into. Okay, bot lane's having some trouble. Mid lane's having some trouble in those first 2 games. Who are we going to put the focus on this time? And it looks to be Aqua Anthony as, the dive is in. The taunt is not going to be enough. Daily Peach just punches away this poor Cassiopeia.
Oh man, like I said a little bit, this Cassiopeia is already gonna have a hard lane going into the Syndra, but the Vi there is just being 6-0, full lethality, just absolutely just coming through.
Oh my goodness! Immediately that will be Daily Peach popping Assault and Battery onto Happy Game. They pick off the Shen, and now 2 members down. VX is starting to kind of falter here from their early game strength that they were showing.
Definitely. A lot of the attention is going into the Mundo, sending him further and further behind, but the rest of the team is suffering at this point. Even though the top and jungle are very happy, looking to the other side of Enigma, the very 3 threatening threatening threats of Vi, Syndra, and Senna are very happy. Even though the Senna is 0-4, she's piping out that 150 gold bounty. He's having a nice CS lead of 20 plus, and slowly fitting herself to the point where her souls are getting more and more excessive.
Yep, we will see the final outer tower go down on the side of VX, but right now another fight breaking out by this Dragon Pit. That's going to be a big Braum ult to catch up 5 members, but got the weak from the backside. Senna ult coming through to rip through these members of the VX, but shut down on the Daily Peach coming through from Aqua Anthony. He's in the backside of this one as he will be taking a little bit of a step back from this as EGM looking to turn this back around. Senna landing that CC down on the Scarlet One. ICL getting low. Scarlet One taken down. Castillo going golden, but I don't think it matters because that doctor checkup is a little bit more painful than one might expect. Aqua Anthony going back onto barter support, and now it's just the top laners left. Where did everybody go? Same page.
What a bloodbath coming into the fight there, where the Camille was hopping in, trying to pick up a few kills. The Cinder getting caught into the back line. The Vi blew somebody up, and then blew up themselves. The Ezreal getting caught by the Senna W, forcing his arcane shift away, but it wasn't enough as he's gotten caught out by Grebo and Bardo. But it's very, very, very intense to see this Camille being 5-0 at this point. 5-1.
Yeah. That is definitely going to be one of the big potential win conditions here for VX if they're going to look for it. Is, we saw how powerful Aqua Anthony can be in these fights, but even the potential to go into a side lane and just get a split push going, because this EGM squad cannot just 1v1 anymore. You're going to have to send a couple members who deal with that Camille, just based of how strong we're seeing her in these fights. So there is some options here that we're seeing VX pick up and definitely play through. But that shutdown goal going to Aqua Anthony in that fight was just so clutch.
But also, just a little side note, that Enigma picked up their second Inferno, which is still a very, very, very scary thought. Even though that Camille is 5-1, getting a lot of gold in hand, picking up multiple excess items. DD gonna make sure she's a absolute nightmare. And Aqua's really showing his performance, saying, "Hey guys, I will carry this. Put me in the back pocket. We got this. We got this." Nevertheless, though, those dragons are ticking down. 2 Infernals onto Enigma, onto the Vi, being able to do an exorbitant amount of damage, and every Infernal stacking afterward is just icing on the cake.
And now I'm watching this kind of go down as Daily Peach and Bardo Support are watching TS Pizza kind of float around this Baron pit, but the reason I think they probably didn't engage because they don't have wards up in the red side of the jungle of VX is we're going to see another engage in the bot lane. Aqua Anthony taking on this Mundo as he is going to pop the ultimate, but so does the Camille looking to trade on in. The Stand United is coming down, but so does the Senna ult to shield up this Mundo, make sure he gets on out. But you can see the trading that Aqua Anthony is able to put down onto this very, very tanky member of EGM.
That's crazy how much dueling potential that Dr. Mundo had against the against Aqua there, even though he was being 5-1 and practically matching with a little bit more of expensive items.
Pizza in a really terrible spot right now, caught up by Scout of the Reek from Alt and a bunch more CC, but Daily Peach is actually the one who drops. He goes over the wall, he tries to find an engage, but members of VX are here and ready to roll. They're going to keep on taking out these members of EGM. However, Pizza dropped in the backside of this fight. This fight is not quite done yet. We see how tanky Bless Express is, but using that ultimate in the bot lane fight with Aqua Anthony earlier will not make him as tanky as he could possibly be. And EGM actually pulls ahead in this fight, goes 2 for 4 in favor of VX.
Man, VX is just pushing back at this point, just throwing the lead forward and forward, making sure they have somewhat of a chance. They said, guys, we're going to make this into a reverse sweep. We're trying our best. We're pushing ourselves, making sure they have this Baron. Baron drops for the first time for the VGX favored. How are you feeling about this game at this point?
I'm watching this chat, and they're totally right. We've got a game on our hands, folks. VX coming through. The gold, even though it was down for them, is now back in the lead. However, they're the ones with the Baron buff right now. And this is what we're seeing right now is Aqua Anthony up in that solo lane, going by himself. However, EGM is doing exactly what we talked about and sending numbers up there immediately as Aqua Anthony is going to get that back, go for the reset. But no, this is fantastic from VX to really be fighting back, to really not just sit back and play as passively as they were in the first 2 games, and being the ones more in the driver's seat of where this game is going.
I mean, I'm just excited to think, even though I'm still going to hit Enigma favored, I still think Enigma has a very strong chance of winning this game. Nevertheless, the small chance that I'm putting it on, I believe that VX actually has the more scaling team comp. So the more the game goes along, the better the game goes for VX favor. But generally speaking, just watching this, I think this is going to be one of the key fights that will turn the game into one side or the other.
Actually, the flash being used by Scarlet 1 there to get away from the members of EGM, and I think you're totally right. This is the fight for the soul point. This is who's going to be set up for taking the Infernal Soul, which will be about 5 minutes after this. However, EGM with double Infernals already. This will just add even more to the amount of damage they're doing, but it's the Baron buff that we see. Oh, look at this! True Shot Barrage comes out, but over the wall will be Aqua Anthony to follow up and take out Karibo. Daily Peach is there as well, too, as it turns out to be a 1-for-1 trade. Unfortunately, this Camille will drop. So one of the most powerful members from VX missing for this Dragon fight. It is still a 4v4, but I think VX needs to be a little careful with that Aqua Anthony as they're going to jump on to Bless Express, but that is going to be a big ult from Ballardo support, knocking up multiple members of VX. Here comes Daily Peach looking for the backline, flashes in and goes directly onto Scarlet 1, finds his Ezreal, and EGM just spreads apart
Hey.
the members of VX as Daily Peach picks up a quadra kill. Oh my god!
What an absolute show up going into Daily Peach into that fight, getting multiple heals, Scatter the Weak hitting 3 targets in the backline, setting up that assault and battery straight down the middle, straight through the shed, straight through everybody, straight to the Trundle, saying, hey, I'm here to show up. I'm here to show what this team's about, and he's truly bringing it as they lose an inhibitor and potentially some turret play.
Yeah, and look how fast EGM is to respond to that. Immediately with that ace coming through, they push in, they take the mid tower and inhibitor. So now VX, we were talking. Well, no, I was talking about VX being in the driving seat, but a little bit more of a back seat now is EGM just coming through with a massive win around that dragon, and now the push onto this top inner turret. Gonna look to line their pockets with even more gold, as this gold lead is pushing to about 4K here at 31 minutes, but it's not done yet. That's going to be the True Shot Barrage coming through from the Scarlet 1. Now the rest of the members of VX are looking to engage onto this one, as that's going to be Vi with the Assault Battery immediately on the backside, but Aqua Anthony there to lock down this Vi. Blessed Express will also be taken down, but these members of VX are getting quite low. Looking to hop onto Graham as well too. Scatter the Weak will push them back momentarily. However, they're jumping on, and Scarlet 1 will find the Mystic Shot there. They come back and turn things around 3-0 in that top lane fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a game. This is such a back and forth, just cluster of a game. They're just clawing at each other back and forth. Aqua says, no, we got the game. And Peaches says, no, we got the game. But there's one thing that we gotta say is there's 3 Infernals Soul Point onto Enigma here. 3 Infernals on that team is a scary, scary beast. And I am just truly terrified if they get that Infernal Soul, is that there's any way for Enigma to punch through, even through the Camille being 8-2, 3 items being an absolute terror.
I mean, you know, if we're looking at builds, I'm just, my eyes are drawn towards Ezreal, and you know, we've talked about the difference between going the Iceborne Gauntlet or the Triforce in terms of what Sheen item you want to build. I think having a more kiting option in terms of when you have a Vi running in your face and being able to proc the Iceborne Gauntlet with your Q is definitely not terrible. But what we saw in that last fight, you know, was Aqua Anthony sticking right beside Scarlet 1 in that fight. And as soon as Blessed Express and Daily Peach even looked at this VX Ezreal the wrong way, Aqua Anthony was there. So I think we need to see a lot more of that, kiting back and chipping down these members of EGM. Draw them in, chip them down lower, just poke at them until you can pull that trigger and say, okay, we can do this now.
Definitely. And also,
Pizza, maybe in some trouble. Scatter the Weak is coming through as well, too. Lots of damage coming down onto this Trundle, but is going to pop his Gargoyle Soul Plate to soak up a little bit of that damage. But again, getting a little punished for being ever so greedy, ever so slightly greedy on this vision.
Definitely. And just looking at Ezreal's stats here, 194 armor at this point.
Oh my god, that was so close. Scatter the Weak almost finds Iziel. Very, very close to that one happening. But now we see this EGM squad setting up around the Baron buff and actually going to be starting it up. However, I think VX might have a good idea of what's happening here. Aqua Anthony is taking the spot outer turret. However, Baron is starting to go down. The TP is available for this Camille to get into this fight. Pizza is floating around along with Iziel. And Blessed Express in the backside of this pit taking up a lot of damage. But Braum Ultimate will find 2 members of VX in the backside. Oh, big Scatter of the Weak. Here comes the TP dose. Senna ulti will pop through on these squishy members as Pizza forced the flush on over the wall back to safety. Happy Game is looking to go in this backside here, but a massive Scatter of the Weak will lock down that Shen. It will be the support trading onto the support. And now we've got 4v5 as VX are going to have to back and go take care of this super minion wave that's pushing into their base.
Shen is being a little bit over anxious. We're looking for that play there on to Peach there, getting punished ever so slightly. Looking down to the Shen's build, I'm actually quite interested. Is it actually standard to go on Umbral Glaive? Because that looks a little bit weird to me.
I mean, I don't think so. If you're playing Shen support, you should just tank it up. So I'm not too sure about that one. I might go something more in the lines of I mean, honestly, anything tanky. Anything
Lock.
tanky.
I was there more thinking of more of a
But it's Halo
lock
Blade.
it.
It's Halo Blade Shen. Just wanted to point that one out. So maybe that
Oh,
is the reason for the big scat of the week, as it will be the Infernal Soul locked down by EGM here at 35, almost 36 minutes. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a scary situation if you are VX. Even though the gold is tied, having that soul, that Infernal Soul specifically, is going to be very, very terrifying when looking for these fights, or even, especially getting hit by a Scout of the Weeks from Syndra, are gonna just punch that much more of a punch.
and then
Pack
not
them.
only that, you also have to look at Mundo. Mundo as a champion loves damage, and because he just builds straight tanks. So the more damage you give him, the more meaty his cleavers are gonna be. Necessarily, everybody else onto the team besides Braum is gonna love this Infernal Soul. 4 Infernal Souls, unleash power, just one popping. The Ezreal is most likely gonna happen because he's maximum armor potential. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see this fight.
Yeah, all my homies love the Infernal Soul, but luckily Scarlet One is there to E away from that Scout of the Week. We do see the GA coming through for Aqua Anthony, so it's going to be very hard for this Camille to be taken down. However, yes, that extra damage, we've said it already. It's something VX needs to really, really be careful about engaging in these fights. And I think the Syndra needs to be the one that goes down first if they find a pick on her, but it's going to be very hard getting to that Syndra in the first place, because there's a lot of stuff to get through on the side of EGM's comp.
I'm very interested why the Mundo is actually not looking for this split push here. He has TP advantage. Drawing the Camille's pressure would be huge, especially if he can get to the point where he can TP away from the Camille. Nevertheless, the NAREM is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's quite always interesting to see.
And you know what? Sometimes it do be like, sometimes you get down to a match point in the grand finals, and it's you know what? You can't stray away from your roots. That's just part of NA. But it's still been a much better showing from VX's game, which I do have to give them props for that. They are not, like I said, playing this one passive. They're the ones initiating more, pulling that trigger on these important fights. But we do have a Baron on the map right now. Elder Drake up in 3 minutes and about 15 seconds here, guys. So there's going to be one or maybe even 2 more fights that really decide this one too. So VX needs to be on point right now and ready for anything that EGM throws at them.
It's either going to be this Baron fight or it's going to be the Elder fight. Nevertheless, whoever gets these 2 key objectives is going to be a very, very favored, at least initially, into the next coming minutes. But Ezreal.
Oh, jumped on immediately. There's Daily Peach, and Assault and Battery is enough to catch him out. And, you talked about that Ezreal being alone while Happy Game was able to roam in this early stages of the game. But at this point, you cannot be by yourself, because EGM is going to execute something like that. And now Baron is already under half health. EGM is just shredding this one apart. And there's going to be no answer from VX on this.
Now, the question here is we're talking about is are they going to go for another NAREM, or are they going to go for this Elder Dragon that's going to be spawning very, very soon?
I mean, if you try and fight EGM right now with their Baron buffs on, it's not going to go well. They have Baron buffs on. They have Soul Point. They're, ahead ever so slightly in gold, but where is the majority of that at? It's Daily Peach. And now he's meeting Aqua Anthony down in the bot lane. Big Shield's coming through. His Camille ulti will be popped. Stan United immediately. Santa ulti is going to rip through this Camille. Stan United does not make its way down there, as Aqua Anthony will go down. And now Pizza there trying to help out his team. However, the rest of this EGM squad is there and ready to party. And they're going to go ahead, look to push in on this base, and maybe even potentially end this as we just passed the 40-minute mark of this game. As
Man.
immediately Bomb already is there. There's Daily Peach to follow it up. And my God, there's nobody left from VX. We thought they had more time, but no, not in fact enough time. Onto the base they go. There's nowhere for VX to go, so they take the honorable route out of this one and end things off. But that will mean EGM are our grand final champions for the LRS Premade League.
Enigma, you absolutely killed it. The first 2 games a clean stomp. The third game a little bit rocky, but nevertheless, it was an exciting series after all. With that last game up to the throats of 2 Barons, almost an Elder coming up, and just a 1 clean pick coming off of Daily Peach to end the series and end for their championship.
Yeah, that was just honestly an incredible showing from EGM. Huge shout out to VX though, because they showed up massive in that, and I got to give props to the top laner being, I would think, the most, I would say, just from what I saw tonight, the most solid and consistent player for that team. We saw it was coming close for Aqua Anthony trading on these fights and starting to turn things around quite well onto Bless Express Mundo, which I didn't really expect that to be happening out of Mundo. So that was really nice to see. However, there's one name that stands out in these games, and it's Daily Peach, because he was everywhere he needed to be at every single point of the time, every single point in this game that he needed to be. So that was absolutely brilliant by Daily Peach, setting his team up for success, really getting the ball rolling, and being aware of the threat Aqua Anthony was becoming and turning his focus right onto that Camille immediately once we saw how scary Aqua Anthony was becoming in this game.
Definitely. Aqua Anthony was really pushing it, and he was really trying his hardest to make the game as close as possible. But I'm glad VX was pulling to their roots, and they almost brought that game to a win.
Very, very close, but honestly, it was great stuff across EGM. I do got to say this though, just because it makes my support heart happy to see this Braum being played so well. We saw multiple times the Braum shield and the positioning of Bardo support in these fights were just so crucial for keeping his teammates alive. And this could have been a very different game if this Braum wasn't pulling off plays like that. So just really clutch having a player who is able to be aware of everything that's going on around them and knowing where to be in these really up close and personal fights. But no, it was just awesome. But yeah, same page. Any final thoughts before we send it on back to the analyst desk?
Congratulations, Enigma. You were absolutely a blessed entity cast. Nevertheless, that Syndra pick was absolutely insane, hitting the scatters the weeks, hitting 3 2-mans into major team fights. Bardo just picking it up with the Braum, getting those stand behind me in moments, just protecting the team, holding the back to the part where the party can get grouped together and just absolutely take over. Daily Peach is always a monster, no matter what he plays. And nevertheless, everybody on EGM and Enigma played really, really well. And thank you very much for letting me cast.
Of course. Well, thank you guys for hanging out and listening to us do our little cast here for the grand finals. But we have our champion now, EGM, taking the win 3-0 tonight. But without any further ado, we won't hold you up any more here, and we'll send it on back to Noah on the analyst desk.
Hello? Hello? Does this work now? Hello? Yeah, I swear last time, like, my cat, it jumped on the desk and it just, like, it unplugged the cord. I don't know what happened. Anyways, it's Enigma coming out as our grand champions in our LRS Premade. I don't know what it is. Every time I am streaming or hosting these series, it's always a sweep. But what a performance by Enigma over 3 games. I gotta say, that was probably the best and closest game I've seen of any league and of any series even. It was so close, so back and forth, but able to come away with the win in the end. Congratulations, Enigma. You guys deserved it. And I'm going to ask my analysts, what were some of the things that contributed to being able to come back in that game?
Oh, sounds rough, but I mean, Daily Peach takes it and Daily Peach giveth.
Yeah,
Like,
you summed that up pretty well, to be honest.
I mean, he just ulted 2 times into 4 people onto the Ezreal that had Ian Flash up, had Iceborne Gauntlet already. Uh, yeah, I mean, those 2 fights kind of made it closer than it needed to be. Like a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Dream, what do you think?
It definitely. My prayers were answered in that game. VX decided that they wanted to play League of Legends on that third game, and they came swinging. They did the absolute best they could. It just was not enough against a 8-0 Vi at what 29 minutes, and that's when Camille started to turn online, and the kills started getting gifted over to Camille. The Vi decided that it was a great idea to try and make this game a little bit closer by giving 2 free shutdowns, one to the Camille, one to the Ezreal, and then was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then Ezreal was like, let's step up to where I definitely see this Vi just standing there in the bush at mid lane. And then Vi's like, okay, I press R and you die.
Yeah.
So, and that was pretty much the thing, the nail in the coffin right there. Elder Dragon wasn't even a factor. Didn't even come up by the end of that game, I think, or it was up and they didn't care.
Yeah.
I do think if that game had gone any longer and VX had managed to secure that Elder Dragon, I think we might be going to game 4. But it's just unfortunate. VX, they tried their very best in that last game. Unfortunately, weren't able to pull it out against the composition that EGM managed to draft, and that's how we have our champions here.
Yeah, I completely agree with both you guys. Do you guys have any other final closing comments on the night?
Like, opposing to what would be the obvious answer, I wouldn't give Player of the Series to Daily Peach, because not to flame Daily Peach, is obviously a really good player, really well mechanical, really good at like judging a lot of situations, especially early game. But it, I feel like it's not that Daily Peach is such an insane smart jungler that he always creates these leads. For me, it's more just like the enemy jungles not reading the obvious things he's going to do, not doing jungle tracking, not doing very creative pathings, and pulling off gank ideas, not really playing towards the laners in my eyes. So it kind of like, it just like, I feel like people give Daily Peach these games in his hands pretty much to like just take over for free. So I wouldn't even say Daily Peach is like super insane. He's obviously pretty good, but I wouldn't give him Player of the Series for his performance. I would honestly give it to the support over Daily Peach, because the support, like, he played every fight really well. He had so many clutch moments this series. Like, I would even say his worst game was the Alistair game. And in game 2 and 3, he turned it on even more and just like he played really, really clean games. So for me, he's definitely the MVP, because the enemy support also played really well, but he just still absolutely outperformed.
Oh yeah, it's some of that's easy to agree with, some of it's not. Dream, any other final closing comments?
Yeah, I don't think Daily Peach can play the game the way Daily Peach wants to play if his team isn't on board with actually helping him.
Completely.
Half the kills that he gets in mid lane in game 2 against the Kassadin are not happening if Galileo isn't there taunting him. The kills that he gets in this game aren't there if his team's supporting him the entire way through. So you really got to give props to the other members of EGM. It's not just a Peach show. So, as well as Peach did play, like the Syndra 3 or 4 man stun in that last game,
Yeah.
and then by cleaning up. That wasn't Daily Peach. That was the Syndra.
Yeah, that was
Things
actually,
like that.
That was actually the point I wanted to make as my final thing before you go ahead and vote your player of the game on Daily Peach there. That was one of the nastiest, if not the nastiest, Syndra stun we have had the pleasure of witnessing on stream here. So just keep that in mind. That was probably, I think, the single most momentum-breaking moment in the game, where it actually looked like VX had a chance of coming back. Anyways, guys, we are going to take one short final break as that poll does go live. Don't go anywhere, though, because we are going to be coming back with the player of the game announcement and hopefully an interview with the winning team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analyst desk, and once again, taking the player of the game vote is Bardo Support here. I'm sure all of the support mains are so happy to see supports getting the credit they deserve. The amount of times Bardo Support completely denied the True Shot Barrage from Scarlet 1 that game was pretty insane. It was definitely a difference maker, let alone the numerous and countless huge ultimates coming out from Bardo Support there. I'm happy to see the support to get the credit. Bardo Support was maybe even the most consistent player on Enigma the entire series. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to Enigma. They absolutely deserve this championship, and I am going to be joining their call to give them a quick little interview on how they are feeling. Enigma,
How do you do it?
how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So you got to tell me what the comms are like when you find that pick on Scarlet 1, you win that team fight. What are your comms like?
Mr. Jungler Man was telling
Yeah,
me.
Peach,
to
take it
help
from
him.
here, man.
I was just like going in, got the kill, do Baron, recall, go back to base, get another pick, and I guess that's game. That's
Yes.
literally all that happened,
So as soon as you got Scarlet 1, I think you guys knew you had it in the bag.
pretty much. It
Yeah.
was just, are we gonna end it in 2 minutes or are we gonna end it in 5?
Yeah, no, it was incredible to see able to hold on to your lead and take the 3-0 sweep. Do you guys have to change your game plan going into this finals, or was it more about executing what you've been doing all split?
I mean, game 1, they thought they had like an answer to our team, but evidently they didn't. So we didn't really need to do. We didn't need to pull out any strats that weren't like just like standard for us.
Yeah, we had a pretty good read on this team. They play heavily on the mid 2v2, so you know, if we just neutralized that and we did that game 1 and 2 really well, game 3 kind of, but we still brought it home.
Yeah, no, you guys were super consistent and always felt in charge of the pace of the game. Peach in particular, I gotta ask you, what's going through your head when you see you not only get Kha'Zix's game 1 but game 2?
I mean, I'm just a stat. Like, I mean, they triple ban me, but leave open one of my favorite champions. I'll take it any day.
Oh no, yeah, I was surprised to see you left open. You're pretty notoriously for being or teams trying to ban you out, but I'm surprised it was Kha'Zix that they left open, and I think you showed them exactly why that's the one you ban away.
Well, I'll be getting a respect ban from their team from now on, I guess.
Yeah, maybe next split people will finally stop letting you play it. Anyways, guys, you each get to go around. You have your moment of glory. You can do any shout-outs or mention anything you'd like.
I don't think we were ready for that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
It's okay. It's all good, guys. Congratulations once again on your victory, and I hope to see you guys again in another split. I know I speak for all players when there was not a scarier team to be on the Rift against. Anyways, guys,
Appreciate that.
congratulations once
Thank
again, and enjoy.
Thank
your
you,
win.
man.
Alrighty, that does conclude the interview, and that does conclude our stream for the evening, guys. I'm such a good luck for one team. It's always a sweep for whatever reason when I am the one casting. Once again, huge congratulations to Enigma, and just a moment of appreciation for VX for being such a dominant team, giving us one hell of a game 3, being such a good team to cast, stream, and enjoy the entire split long. These players are phenomenal. Just unfortunately not their night. But that does conclude the stream, guys. Be sure to check out our website, as always, for some nice merch, as well as our YouTube channel to review beautiful VODs of stream games such as this one. But that concludes the stream. That's it from me, Psychonautic, guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. And, yeah, congratulations to Enigma once again.